Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, and in today's video we're just going to have a little bit of a COVID catch up, so sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea and let us get into the video. So ladies and gentlemen, how are we all doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope the current COVID status where you are isn't affecting you too badly, and I hope you're able to go about your days in as normal a fashion as possible. Now, as the title suggests, we're having a little bit of a catch up with regards to COVID, plus one or two other little things. But first, as you guys know, this channel isn't really a news channel as such, but who's been following the news for this whole business about Matt Hancock apparently having a sordid affair with one of his secretaries or office aides or whatever they call themselves these days? Do we think it's real? Do we think it's fake? Personally speaking, I think it's probably real, thanks to the way most politicians are. The seedy fuckers at the best of times. They don't tell you the truth, so you don't know whether to take what they say as face value or not. Personally, I don't do politics at all, so I think every politician, good or bad, is a lying fucker. But anyway, that's just my 2 pence worth. As far as I'm concerned, the COVID jab that I keep getting offered by the NHS can go swing, because I am not getting it. Now, I know people are probably going to say that I'm mad for not getting it and blah 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 blah, you know, with being a recovered diabetic and so on. But personally speaking, I don't trust the research that's happened. I don't trust the amount of research that the government have done with regards to the Pfizer vaccine and the AstraZeneca vaccine, plus all these horror stories that you hear about people getting blood clots and dying from the said injections and stuff like that. It's not for me. I would rather spend another month or so wearing a mask just to make sure that the COVID levels have dropped sufficiently enough so that we don't actually have to wear them at all. That's what I would prefer to do. But obviously everyone's entitled to their opinions, you know what I mean? But this whole thing with Matt Hancock, you know, this is the geezer that actually makes the rules for us. You know, he's the guy that makes the COVID guidelines. This is the guy that tells the country what to do and how to do it and whatever else. It's like, dude, you can't even put your dick in your pants. How the fuck are you supposed to tell the country what to do? Do you know what I mean? It's like, how do you expect the nation to respect someone who cannot honour and obey his marriage? Do you know what I mean? It's like asking me to tell people to buy, I don't know, a really, really cheap, shitty helmet at my work, when they've already said, oh no, I want to spend £500 on an arrow. You can't do it. If someone knows what they want and they're willing to spend the money on it, then you've got to, you know, do what they're asking. It's quite simple, really. If someone says to you, we need you to do this, we need you to do that, so that the country is safe and so on, then do you know what? Fine, whatever, it is what it is. But the fact that this geezer, Matt Hancock, cannot keep his dick in his trousers, and that's because he's got slutty secretaries or office aides or whatever they call themselves working for him, who will quite happily ruin a marriage between a husband and wife just to get a leg over or a leg up in their job role or in their job environment or whatever. And it's like, I'm not being funny, but that is fucking bullshit. You know, there's no way on God's green earth that as a, you know, a person who's in a position of authority like Matt Hancock, he's a fucking politician, right? And these are the people that are supposed to look after us as a country and teach us, or not teach us, but advise us on the rights and wrongs of the advise us of the rights and wrongs of the current COVID situation and all that sort of bollocks. And yet, you know, Matt Hancock is flaunting flaunting that level of power by basically fucking his secretary. So how the hell, as a country, are we supposed to listen and follow and obey this guy's guidelines when he can't even, quite simply, abide by the rules of, you know, sacred rules of marriage? You know, to love, honour and obey, not to marry, dishonour and play away. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? But anyway, it is what it is, I guess. I think it's all bullshit myself, but someone will probably tell me, no, it's true, it's true. I've seen the videos, I've seen this, I've seen that. But, you know, these days, social media and multimedia platforms like video and radio and audio or whatever else can all be manipulated to a degree. So It might not even be Matt Hancock that's doing the cheating. It might be someone completely different that just happens to look like him. I don't know. I mean, I don't trust politicians, so you know, you make your own judgment on that one, I'm afraid. But anyway, we are going to move on to something a bit more entertaining, and that is getting the bike dynoed. Like I said in the previous video, I was going to contact Fabio with regards to getting this old girl dynoed to see what she's putting out and to see whether or not we can make some inroads into why this fucking thing keeps stalling. And Fabio reckons that he can do the job. So on Tuesday the 29th of June, which is probably past by the time you watch this video, this old girl is going to be put on a dyno, put through her paces to see what she's putting out. Personally, I think she's putting out somewhere in the region of about 140 bhp now. If I remember rightly, by all accounts, when she was new, she had about 160, 165. If I can get somewhere close to that again after a couple of dyno runs and a bit of fuel tweaking, then great. But I don't know how much it's going to cost or what Fabio is actually going to do. So I honestly don't know. But Fabio has agreed to take on the challenge to try and get this old girl back up to par and to make her the beast that she once was once again. And another good thing that I have to tell you guys as well is that Fabio has agreed to allow me to actually record the dyno sessions and record all the work that he does to the bike, so that you guys can see what the process is all about, and so that you guys can get a much more in-depth idea as to what the bike's done and what the bike is going to do and what Fabio has done to it. So that's going to be coming up very soon. In fact, literally probably by the time you watch this video, it will have already happened. So if it has already happened, I do apologise. If it hasn't happened, keep an eye out for it. So I'm very excited to see what this old girl's actually putting out, and also to see how much better Fabio can make this old girl run and handle, well, not necessarily handle, but run and sound and perform. And I'm not trying to over egg it at all, but I reckon that Fabio will probably get this bike back up to somewhere in the region of probably about 150, maybe 160 bhp. And if we can figure out what the stalling is, even better. And the fact this will be the first time that this bike has been on the dyno in the 4 years or so that I've owned her, I'm very, very curious to see what she's actually going to be putting out. I would like to think that she hasn't lost a lot of power. I know she would have done over the years, but I'm hoping she hasn't lost too much. Wait, what the hell was she doing over there, you weirdo? But like I said, those two are very strange. Can someone please explain to me what the actual fuck's going on there? They're two mad-ass birds dancing around like they're fucking on something. I mean, how do I know? They probably are. But anyway, also on the agenda, once Fabio's done the work on the bike, I'm going to be taking her down to Bike Nuts again to hopefully get a secondary switch put in place for the fans on the radiator, so they actually turn on sooner, or should I say, so I can make them turn on sooner, because I could do with the extra cooling, because my bollocks are absolutely fucking roasting. Soppy tarts. I'm also going to see if Reese can order me some engine ice to see if that helps keep the bike cooler for longer. If anyone has had any experience with engine ice, regardless of the bike that you're riding, please feel free to put it in the comments box down below, so I can get your guys' feedback and thoughts on whether it's a worthwhile investment or not. Because I've never used engine ice. I've always used the Moto Expert Cool coolant. I mean, I don't know whether that's still a good brand. I haven't actually put any coolant in the radiator, like I haven't done any proper flashes or anything like that. Flashes. I haven't flushed the radiator in some time. I did recently top up the coolant, but other than that, I've not really done much to it. So if anyone's got any experience with engine ice, please feel free to let me know in the comments box down below. So it would be nice to get some feedback from you guys as to whether or not it's a worthwhile investment. I'd like to think it would be, but I don't particularly want to be spending the money if it's not. So hopefully you guys can do me a favour and actually either save me some money or point me in the right direction. So if you could, that would be amazing. In other news, in the next couple of days, I think it's a week or so from now, me and the guys from work are supposed to be going out for a little jolly down to Brighton. I'll be on my bike and all the others will be in their cars or whatever they happen to be riding or driving at the time. So that'll be fun. I don't think I'm going to have anyone on the back of the bike with me, or at least I don't think so anyway. But if someone does end up on the back, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to be putting my GoPro on right here so that everyone can see their faces or see their reactions to how I ride. It's always funny seeing and hearing people's reactions when they're on the back of this bike with me, because I've not had anyone on the back of the bike since when? I haven't had anyone on the back of the bike with me for about 2 years now, because the last time I had someone on the back with me, it was my mate Ben from work, and I think I was actually picking him up from his place when he used to live in Claygate. Oh, excuse me. I think that was the last time that I'd actually picked anyone up and had anyone on the back of the bike with me. And my god, that burp stinks. I do apologise. I don't know why I'm apologising to you guys, because you can't smell it. It's just common courtesy, I suppose. But that's going to be an interesting time when we get around to doing that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, because that'll be the second time in 4 years that I've been to Brighton not on my own. It'll also be the second time that I've been to Brighton. Well, sorry, I lie. I'll actually tell you a story. It'll be the first time that I've been to Brighton since I split up with the bird that I was dating, who lived in an area called New Haven. And that is a very, very messy story, which I will go into at a later date. It ended very, very messily as well, but I will go into that another day. On an upward note, the bike still seems to want to run and pull and pop and bang and God knows what else, which is always nice to hear and see, because I love my bike when it pops and bangs. I love it. It's just a little over on the little boom, 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 boom. I don't recall the bike doing that not so long ago. I might be wrong, but I just love the fact that she was boom, 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 boom. And that sounds really pathetic, but I just really like it. As I should now demonstrate. Ready, and I don't know if you heard that a lot, but I did. Woo! This old girl's got a lot of years in her still. I dare say she's probably got about 20, well, nearly 30,000 miles on her now, if I take into account the old dash as well, because that was on something like 28,000 miles when I changed it, and this has got 787 miles on it now. So I dare say some in the region of about 29,500 miles. Just got on a side note, the new dash is still working lovely and well. Any second now. Here we go. Whee! And ladies and gentlemen, it seems to be like a very, very nice day today. I hope it's nice where you are. I hope the wind and the rain has stayed away from whichever part of the UK you happen to be in. But generally speaking, I hope everyone's well. I'm not going to go on about it anymore, about the whole COVID thing. Everyone's fed up with it. No one wants to be part of it anymore. I, for one, have had enough of COVID. I've had enough of wearing masks. I've had enough of hearing about these fucking COVID jabs and whatever else. I've just had enough. Do you know what I mean? I've just got to a point where, you know, people are going on about this COVID jab week in, week out, and it's just taking the piss. It really is. You know, it's just not necessary. If the jab is safe for everyone to take, then why isn't everyone taking it? Why? Because the research they've done doesn't support the findings. So that's my thoughts on it in a nutshell. I won't have it until there's no fatalities after having any of the jabs, either the AstraZeneca or the Pfizer or Oxford or whatever the fuck it is that they were doing. Either way, you won't catch me having it. That's all I'm going to say on that. But hands up, who's ready for seeing this old girl on the dyno? I mean, I know you can't fucking show me that your hands are up, but you know, oh, that's a nice blue. You know, put your hands up emojis in the comments box to let me know that you guys are ready for it. I am exceedingly what's the word, not hesitant, but I'm full of trepidation as to how well or how badly this bike is going to do. I'm hoping she's going to do all right, but we can only wait and see, can't we? I'm hoping she's going to perform as well as I think she will. Like I said, this old girl's got a lot of miles in her still. and I want to make the most of it for as long as I've got her. Naturally, I don't want to put the bike in a situation where the engine's going to be overly stressed or overly worked or whatever. I want to be able to enjoy the bike for another couple of years at least, and I want to be able to turn around and say to people, yeah, Ducatis are reliable, I've had my bike for 10 years. Admittedly, she's had this, this and this, but since those issues were resolved, she's been running like a champ. She's been running like a fucking warrior, mate. That's what I want to be able to say to people. But, you know, time will tell. We'll soon see. We will soon see, ladies and gents. Given time, we will find out what this old girl was all about and what she can do. In the meantime, ladies and gents, I hope you've been enjoying the content that I've been putting out thus far. If you've got any video suggestions or any ideas that you'd like me to try and explore, make sure to put it in the comments box down below, again just like everything else, so that I have something to work off. And if one of your ideas is picked as a vlog idea, I will make sure to put your guys' names in the video description and as a credit at the end. And as always, thank you for all the love and support. I love you all for the subs and the comments, the thumbs up and all the rest of it, because you know how I do. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have been great. I have been Lee, aka Rollin Thunder. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe on the road, and as always, stay away from COVID-19. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, adios!